If you're an entrepreneur looking to secure venture capital for your ingenious business concept, market solution, or invention, this episode is for you. I'm Sarah Geiger, Executive Communication Consultant, and today we'll look at 3 principles that you can apply instantly to create a more magical investor pitch that charms your investors and will increase your success. Perhaps you've dedicated countless hours to working on your investor pitch and are yet to see the funds roll in. If this is the case, I want to share 3 principles that may benefit your attempts to charm venture capitalists. So let's get into principle number 1. The way you speak when you're pitching can make or break the investment deal. Therefore, dedicate as much time as possible to preparing your spoken pitch as you would for your written pitch. It's important to be intentional because did you know there's a lot of research into links between the style of language and interaction used by entrepreneurs and the degree by which their investment pitch will be successful? I stay up to date with this information to ensure that I can provide the CEOs, entrepreneurs, and founders that I work with instruction relevant to positive pitch outcomes so that when we work together on how they can effectively communicate their pitch, the strategies are research-based. It's important to pay attention to your communication style when pitching, and now I'll share a few pointers that you can focus on. Importantly, you need clear voice tone. Strive to drop hesitations and fillers and avoid rushes of speech. You're aiming instead for a smooth and consistent pace. Importantly, the vocabulary that you use can make your message sound more persuasive. We know from research studies that speakers that use less neutral words, i.e. more interesting words, are more inclined to level up their persuasiveness. So if you know that you need to build up your vocabulary for communicating in investor pitch meetings, check out my vocabulary workshop. I've linked some details below this video. Your communication style, in a nutshell, is one of the best ways to showcase your interpersonal competencies, and your ability to achieve elite presentation skills will immediately expand the likelihood of accessing investment opportunities. Studies, in fact, show that the higher an entrepreneur scores for their presentation skills, the more attractive the investment opportunity will be to the venture capitalist. But when it comes to confidence, there's always a huge gap between looking confident and actually feeling confident when you're under pressure, and pitching to investors can definitely drive up the performance pressure and risk of speaking glitches because the stakes and competition are incredibly high. If you want to build your speaking presentation skills and competence in pitching for venture capital, start by setting some concrete communication goals that research suggests are the most important for entrepreneurial success. My high-performance communication audit does this heavy lifting for you. You can commence the process easily by heading to my website, purchasing and enrolling in the audit, and then submitting some niche speaking tasks that will allow me to identify via ingenious virtual assessment the key steps that you need to build the communication skills that you're proud of, especially for when you're in the hot seat pitching to investors. Check the link below to sign up today. Okay, let's get into the next investor pitch tip. Tip number 2. Your language tone can make or break your delivery in an investor pitch meeting. When you deliver your investor pitch, I don't need to tell you that many ingenious and lucrative business ideas are already circulating. I'm sure this is something that keeps you up at night. But as you know, many incredible ideas never move past the vision and receive funding. So it doesn't always come down to the integrity of the business idea. Instead, your capacity to sell your idea as a gainful option to investors will come down to how well you convey the dream and growth potential. How can you sell the dream and convince a venture capitalist that your vision has growth potential? Through your communication. And this is where many entrepreneurs slip up. To make their concept, innovation, or business solution tangible to investors, They can easily limit the imagination of the venture capitalists by using fixed and concrete language and also weak communication. Now, we don't have time to go through all the language strategies you can use in delivering your pitch that I would normally cover in executive communication sessions in the purpose of this vlog, but let me share with you one key strategy. Focus on using more abstract, visionary language. Speakers that use abstract speech are perceived as more powerful, and most critically, abstract language tends to convey increased growth capacity and scalability, increasing the chance of investment astronomically. If you're wondering about how you can increase the use of abstract language while pitching to your investors, wonder no longer, because I've prepped for you a comprehensive strategy guide over on my blog, which I've linked below for you. Make sure you check that out at the end of this episode. Okay, let's get into principle number 3. How you look when you present directly correlates to funding success. In fact, research has proven that your audience of investors will evaluate how trustworthy you seem based on your facial symmetry. It's crazy to consider, isn't it? But unfortunately, it's a fact. The more symmetrical your face, the higher the chance you'll receive an investment pledge. In fact, trustworthy-looking entrepreneurs receive a 13.1 greater pledge amount and attract 4.8% more backers than those who are untrustworthy-looking. But don't lose hope if you're worried that your face doesn't stack up in terms of symmetry. You don't need to go and get bobo. There are more visual factors in your control that you can add to your pitch, so keep listening for the next tips. Your social ability as an entrepreneur is always observed by the audience and viewer and listener in an investor pitch by your use of gesture and even clothing. Firstly, your visual delivery matters. A symmetrical and expansive posture always communicates higher competence, so invest time in building up your stage presence while presenting. In fact, the more expansive you appear, the more you'll be perceived as dominant, attractive, and passionate about your ideas. Investors are also more likely to fund highly expansive entrepreneurs, so perhaps it's time to pump iron at the gym, fix any wonky or compressed posture, and learn some public presentation skills. The next visual tip relates to the colours you wear as well as the formality of your attire. Your attire and colours will have an impact on the perceived credibility and competence that you convey. And I share more about that in a video linked on the screen. Make sure you check that one out too. Today, we've gone through 3 deep principles that you can apply instantly to create a more magical investor pitch that charms venture capitalists and will most likely increase your success rate. There are so many more research-based supports I can provide for your communication if you're an entrepreneur who knows that their investor pitch needs polishing. So make sure you check out the resources over on my website, get in touch, or better still, take action today for your business ventures with the High Performance Communication Audit. Did you find this topic helpful? Are you currently on the lookout for venture capital? I'd love to learn more about your investor pitch challenges, so make sure you reach out via the comments below with any questions, and also subscribe over on my main platform at sarahgeiger.com so that you can stay up to date with all the resources for leadership communication coming your way. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, can you do me a favor and click like? That helps me so much on YouTube. And also don't forget to subscribe as well if you enjoy this kind of content. See you soon, and ciao for now.